obviously the Democrat Party has, they're trying to figure out their identity. You've got this in-party fighting happening on both sides of the aisle, by the way. I'd rather focus on the Democrats' issues rather than the Republican infighting. But they're looking for how do we rebrand? What do we do? What is our identity after last year's election in which, America overwhelmingly was like, yeah, we're done with y'all's crazy shit. We don't want that. We'll vote for the Republicans over all this nonsense. And so the Democrats are like, who are we? Who are we? And I think after last night, we can now say with quite the level of certainty that they are communists. They are the party of violence, of child murder, illegal immigrants, Muslim sympathizers. None of this is good. Okay, so I want to start with the elephant in the room. Zohran Mamdani, the communist Muslim who is, come January, going to be in control of the most powerful city in the world. Not for long. Not for long, New York City. Well, you're just going to give that right up in the voting booth. Now, he was very quick after victory was declared for him. He was very quick to just declare war with President Trump.
So, Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up. So hear me, President Trump, when I say this. To get to any of us, you will have to get through all of us.
It's always interesting to me when these politicians, like they're saying things, but they're really saying nothing. Like, okay, to get to us, you have to come through all of us. Like, you haven't actually said anything. You're just saying you're stringing a bunch of words together and you think that they sound nice and they sound insightful. But with this in particular, it's very cute that this man who is now going to be in charge of New York City wants to wage this war against President Trump, when in actuality, you're going to run out of money, Zohran. You're going to run out of money. You can't pay for these policies that you've just promised New Yorkers. And if you think for 1 second President Trump is going to bail you out with federal funding, you are sorely mistaken, because President Trump has already said he's not going to give this man who is like, hey, we should try communism here. The problem with communism is that we haven't tried it hard enough. We should just try it harder and then it will work. President Trump has already been very clear that he is not going to give federal tax dollars to bail out these cities, these states that are just doing communism. That's not going to happen. So you're going to find out real quick who is going to win that battle, Zohran. That's fine. But there's also another thing about him that I think the Democrats are actually just finding out. It's just the same way that they found out that Joe Biden, it turns out, didn't know where the hell he was at any given point in time. It's like these things that we're seeing happen in front of our very eyes, and we will tell them for years, guys, this is happening. Guys, this is happening. And they will call you crazy. They'll tell you you're a conspiracy theorist. They'll tell you you're a right-wing nut job. And then all of a sudden, when it's too late, they're like, oh, God, you know what? It turns out this thing that you guys said was happening the whole time that we denied, it turns out you may be right. So now you have Van Jones talking about Zohran Mamdani. You guys would be shocked to hear this. He's kind of an actor. This whole thing is kind of an act. We actually don't know who he is because he just changes who he is. He's code switches all the time, as it turns out. Van Jones just realizing this for the first time, I guess.
I think the Mamdani that we saw on the campaign trail, who was a lot more calm, who was a lot warmer, who was a lot more embracing, was not present in that speech. I think his tone was sharp. I think he was using the microphone in a way that he was almost yelling. And that's not the Mamdani that we've seen on TikTok and the great interviews and stuff like that. So I felt like there's a little bit of a character switch here where the warm, open, embracing guy that's close to working people was not on stage tonight, and there was some other voice on stage.
The peaceful Muslim isn't so peaceful anymore. God, where have I heard that before? Now, it's almost laughable. These liberal hacks go out there and, they are, of course, probably very responsible for this guy, his rise, his ascent to the mayor of New York. And it's like, I don't know. Have you been paying attention at all? Because there are videos that have existed, that have been posted all over social media that have shown this guy, again, code switching, changing his accents depending on who he's with, which is, we know what Democrats do all the time. He wants to try to sound more foreign at times. These videos have existed for a while now. Van Jones is apparently just catching wind that this guy may not be exactly who he portrayed himself to be, even though videos like this already existed.
Here's what he normally sounds like.
We gather tonight in the wealthiest city, in the wealthiest country, in the history of the world.
But in an interview in South Africa, he sounded a little different.
I actually created a playlist for Mira, who also happens to be my mother. Nepotism and hard work goes a long way.
And in an interview with the Turkish-American podcast, Mamdani sounded different
I'll
again.
be honest with you, Brother Masoom, is that at this point, not many people are thinking about it.
And here is Zoran during his rapper days.
You know, it would have been here earlier, but worldwide tour is a worldwide tour is a worldwide tour. As in, you can't
Celebrity things,
you can't
stuff,
just stop it.
Like, he changed from a regular New Yorker to Apu from The Simpsons. Just like that. That's so crazy. Would you like a Slurpee? All of a sudden. Now, it's interesting because, remember, he is a guy who has been very, very clear in his communication that he is very anti-capitalist. He is very anti-billionaire. Interestingly enough, loves George Soros' son. BFFs with Alex Soros, who funded his campaign. Isn't that so fascinating? It's so crazy. I mean, he hates billionaires, but not his billionaires. His billionaires, totally fine. Dark money going to Democrat elections, totally fine. Our billionaires, not okay. Now, I think one of the most insightful moments of this victory speech of the night that you saw from Zoran Mamdani was not the character switching, was not the code switching. These were things that we already knew. Now, we already knew this as well, but it was such a clarifying moment to hear him talk about who helped him. I want to thank all the people who are responsible for helping me get elected. And you will notice one particular category of people that was not mentioned in all of his thanks.
Thank you to those so often forgotten by the politics of our city who made this movement their own. I speak of Yemeni bodega owners and Mexican abuelas.
Mexican.
Senegalese taxi drivers and Uzbek nurses.
Okay, Uzbeks and Senegalese.
Trinidadian line cooks and Ethiopian aunties.
Trinidad, Ethiopian.
Yes,
Okay.
aunties.
Okay. Well, wait a second. What about the Americans? You just talked about all of these foreigners. What about the Americans, Zoran? What about, like, American citizens? No, we just like the foreigners. But this honestly tracks because the Democrats want all of these. I mean, this is the plan. This is the master plan. They want to import a totally new demographic, a totally new voter who will vote for all of their shitty policies. This has been the plan. Bring these people in, naturalize them, and you will change the entire fabric of the country. They don't believe in the Constitution and law and order and all. They don't believe in any of that. That totally tracks. And when you look at all of these, signs hanging up in Los Angeles, for instance, look at this vote here sign. I mean, they've got all of these different, how many different languages is this that they just have? It just is supposed to say vote here. Here's a novel concept. If you can't read the words vote here, I don't want you voting in my country. Is that controversial in 2025? I don't think it should be. If you can't, it even pisses me off. I went to go vote. We had a bunch of constitutional amendments on the ballot, and in my particular area, it was like one school board race. I just get pissed off that you go I'm speaking to them in English and they have to ask you, do you want a ballot in English or Spanish? Like, this is Texas. Get me my ballot. You hear me speaking English to you. I don't want a Spanish ballot. And why is my tax money going to provide people with Spanish ballots? If you can't read the ballot in English, get out of the polling place. You don't belong here. You should not vote. So obviously, here in the state of Texas, we have to deal with the Spanish. California has totally lost their damn minds. There's like 26 different languages again, you are paying for them to create these signs. You are paying for all of this, all of the languages that they have to print this stuff in, that they have to do this stuff in. You're paying for all of that. If you're in California, that's nuts. Now, another telling thing in Mamdani's speech was he did a little shout out to someone who is kind of a hero of his, I guess.
The sun may have set over our city this evening, but as Eugene Debs once said,
oh, big cheers.
I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity.
Big cheers for Eugene Debs. Big cheers. I don't know if you realize Eugene Debs, he called himself a socialist, just as Zoran does. He was a communist, criminal, spent 10 years in jail, and blamed capitalism for poverty and crime. And he said these issues could just be completely eliminated if we would just try socialism harder. If we would just go full socialism, if we would just go full commie, we could actually eliminate poverty and crime. That was who he just shouted out there to raucous cheers in New York City. Everyone loves Eugene Debs, apparently. This is terrifying. He's also, found this to be a little alarming. The Muslim communist gets in office and he's like, hey, you know what? We're just going to shut down the anti-terror NYPD unit. We don't need any counterterrorism. My buddies over there are going to come over and I don't want you guys sniffing them out. So we're just going to axe this unit. We don't need that. It's racist. It's xenophobic. Listen, what could possibly happen in New York City? What could possibly happen here that would be a danger? What kind of terrorist act could actually happen here in New York City? Nothing could happen here, but that would never happen. It's a little alarming. I'm just saying, okay? So that all happened in New York. Good luck, New York City. You're going to need it. By the way, the inn is full here. We are all full. The inn is full in the state of Texas. Don't come here and don't come crying to us. I don't want to bail you out. You voted for it. You own it. All right? Now in Virginia, I would like to say the news gets better. It doesn't really. In Virginia, you have Jay Jones, who is now going to be the attorney general. And this is the man, don't forget, who sent text messages to a Republican saying that he wanted to shoot his political rival and also wish death on their children. And remember, he was given multiple chances to clarify that he didn't actually mean it. No, he doubled down every single time. He's like, no, I literally hope his child dies because only when you are personally affected do you move on policy. That's the guy that Virginians decided they wanted overseeing law and order in their state. Again, I'm telling you guys, the Democrats have been struggling with their identity. They have really found themselves. This is who the Democrats are. They love political violence. They love people who talk about other people's kids being murdered. They love communism. This is who the Democrats are. So just know that next time you think about voting for one. This is the Democrat Party. This is who they want. This is who they've chosen to represent them. And I just think that it's actually perfect. It's actually perfect that this is who they're picking because it will be a great reminder for America that there is a party of sanity and there is off the reservation. Those are your two options. So if you're not off the reservation and if you don't embrace political violence and communism, you're with us. That's just the fact of the matter. I would like to end with one piece of silver lining. Voters rejected over in Minnesota the Somalian pirate, Omar Fateh. He was, of course, as you see in this New York Post headline, the Minnesota Mamdani, but he lost to Mayor Jacob Frey. So it turns out you're not the captain. You're not the captain, actually, Omar. If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.